What do you do when you want to talk about something you can't figure out something to talk about? What do you talk about? And what is there to talk about when you can't figure out what to talk about? And I talked about this, I talked about that, I talked about this, I talked about that. Whatever happened, I covered it. And then you talk about this, or I can talk about that, or I can talk about this, or you talk about that, or you talk about this, or you talk about that. Or you talking about trying to figure out what to talk about. Strange as it is, isn't it? But what choice should I present next for the world to view? Choice to be influenced by, influenced not by, influenced to or not to, or how to help, or what plan or what idea should I come up with next? I mean, it just kind of come to me. What choices come to you? Why don't I see you? Why don't you talk to me? What choices of interaction come between you and me? Why don't you interact with me? Come on, I want to hear some emails from you. Can I get an email from you? Come on, come on, come on. Send an email to the United Unified Belief. We'd love to hear from you. Then give us more to talk about. Emails. We can start opening a mailbag, you know. I'll read your letter live on camera. And present it to the world and answer your question. You got any questions? Lots of answers. Lots of questions, too. Like, who are you? What are you about? What choices made you? What creation are you like? What are the choices of your creation? Tell me true. Tell me a little bit about you. Me? I grew up in a small little town. Stuck here still. Went to a big city, got some education in computers and design. Yeah. Just a simple, everyday guy. Doing some amazing things, I think. I'm trying to do some amazing things to help the world out. Just because I love the world. I want it to continue as long as possible. Because it's a great world. Isn't it a great world after all? Isn't it a great world after all? Yeah. But it can be even better yet. Can't you think of a way you can make the world better? You could, can't you? That's what I'm always trying to do, is figure out ways to make the world better. Always improvements. Improvements. New products, new ideas. I love those in the world. Don't you love those in the world? I love those in the world. Those are great. That's something always worth talking about. Let me think. What new products should I come out with next? Have I told you about something? I'm a stonemason. Yep, stonemason right here. You know it's true. Built myself a stone-colored fountain. Doesn't work quite yet. The pumps went out. Driving me nuts. Everything keeps on breaking. Heck, I melted the camera lens. Fortunately enough, it was on the back part of it. I don't know. I just must be burning up the screen. I blew the door off my CD-ROM drive. So I have to open my computer with a stick. To get a CD into it. Keys are flying off everywhere from me. Tapping. But still I keep going. I wonder what else there is to talk about. There's always things to present. Always new ideas. But you can tell me a little bit about you. Yeah, I'm sure you have some questions. Or some complaints. Oh, I love the complaints. I love reading those and answering those too. Or some, you need to get back on your medication. Those are my favorite. Because you know what that says? That says that, hey, I'm reaching outside the lines of your normal thought. You don't understand what's going on and you don't realize the full potential of this idea. You're just blowing it off like, wow, how can this be? This will never happen. But you know what? Sometimes those things do happen. So some of the illness. Doctors say I've got a terminal illness. I'm insane in the brain. I've got a bipolar schizophrenic mood disorder. I see things, hallucinations and things. It's quite strange. It's like living with the cartoons at times. And at other times it's like living with demons. I feel like I'm stuck on a Charmed episode. Come on, blowing them up left and right. It gets old though. So that's why I took the fight to the field, by lifting the knee and trying to stop these new evils from rising. By helping out those in need and doing good deeds. So then, I can get some peace and quiet. I don't have to deal with as many of these darn demons. Because there'll be less of them in the world. Because they're made from need. You know what makes a person into a demon? Need. They need this or they need that. And something approaches, well, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. So if we lift the need off these individuals, no more can this guy come in. Well, if you do this, well, you don't need me. You don't need it. I guess I have no purpose here. Goodbye. See how that defeats the evil, doing good deeds? Like planting the path. The path to feed the hungry. Or the water for the desert. Or moving the crucifix, which is just a symbolic move. The moving of the crucifix to the cemetery is a symbol that says that though Christ died on that hill, He lives with His Father in heaven. And in the church, He lives with us. For we took Him back to the grave, to His Father's resting places of His fellow Christians, which He led. I can just see a cemetery with crucifixes all carved in the sides of it. Oh, can you see it? See, a crucifix will not ever be retired, but it can be set to rest at the cemetery. And then in the church, imagine the Christ we can put up there. We can put up some of His other images. Some of those inspiring images of hope and inspiration. But the crucifix still stands. The crucifix must still stand. In the cemetery, though, it can stand too. And it's a frightening sight to walk into a cemetery and see Christ crucified. Scare those grave robbers away. How does that lift the need? Well, that's just a statement. That says we will not cause pain to Christ. We will not cause pain in this world. We will lift it. We will carry it from this hill, and we will take Him and we will carry Him to the cemetery where He can rest with His Father and be healed of His wounds and His pain. We will not leave Him tied up and torn and bittered and slashed and cut and tortured. That we will return Him to His homeland. It's like when you're lost and you want to go home. Or that you won't put up with someone being tortured or mutilated. And hanging that on moving those to the cemetery as well. What effect does that carry? What's that say you're about? What's that demonstrating choice? What have you chosen? That's something that we talked about a little bit. I wasn't sure what we were going to talk about, but we talked about this and that and that and this and this and that, a little about me, a little about this, a little bit about that. But thank you for your time, Christopher David Clayton of the United Unified Village.